All right. Well, hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. My name is Claire, and I am a community builder developer here at the Dev Protocol. And today we are joined by two creators who have built a very cool project they're going to tell us a little about, Shubham and Maxime. But before we dive into your project, can you tell us a little bit about who you are?
Yep, sure. I will start with myself. My name is Shubham. I'm a third-year engineering undergrad student in India and also a builder. And recently, started my journey with Web3, and it's been like 6 months. I'm building now, and we started building projects. And me and Maxime met on the internet, and now things started this way. And we'll talk about it, like what we did and what we built in the conversation. Yeah, that's it for me.
Looking forward to it.
Yep, and I'm Maxime. I'm 26-year-old, and I'm full stack software dev from France, and I live in City Lyon. I'm currently working as a software developer in company, and just get into open source since 5 months ago.
Awesome. Yeah, I want to hear more about how you two ended up meeting each other. But before we dive into that, let's talk about DevNFT and what this project is that you've built. Could you explain what DevNFT is?
Yeah, Shubham, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, sure. Okay, yeah, actually DevNFT, we people were part of an open source community, and we were collaborating, and there is famous saying in those communities, like collaboration first, code next. So we were also had this open source a vision, but what we really saw in those communities, there are people who are doing great work, but they are not getting their work incentivized, or and at some point of time they struggle to manage things, manage finance or people. So we thought of some solution, or at the same time NFT stuff was kind of booming. So we thought of what if we or me or anyone can sell their repositories as an NFT as in the market, and people who feel gratitude toward those softwares or repositories or project can buy them. So we ended up building the DevNFT, and where anyone can create NFT of their GitHub repository, and whoever feels gratitude or want to hold those NFTs of their repositories, they can purchase it, and then whoever's the creator will get the amount. So there is personal attachment to this, is that I want to hold someday the NFT of Linux, the kernel. So I'm a huge fan of Linux. So yeah, that's also someday a dream of me. Yeah.
Very cool. Just to be clear, so with NFTs, there's a couple of different types of NFTs. Some that you sell as one NFT. You can sell something with multiple copies of the same NFT. With DevNFT, how does that work? You can put up your repository as an NFT, and then one person can buy it, resell it, etc., or can multiple people buy the same NFT?
Yeah, actually it's we wanted to more focus on user experience, no more tedious stuff, just log in with your GitHub ID, select the repository you want to create NFT out of it. So just select the repository, and you'll have the NFT, and those NFTs can be traded further. Once, for example, today I bought the NFT, and in the future I want to sell them, or if you want to hold them, that's my choice. And a person can create multiple time of their NFTs, but there is we kind of created a timestamp, at what time they created those NFTs. Even a creator of a particular art can mint their art multiple times, but that reduces the credibility of art. So it's depending on the creators, if they want to do that. But yeah, so how it goes.
I see. So you're giving all of the power to the creator to decide how they're going to sell their NFT of their repo.
Yes.
I heard a rumor that you two met at a hackathon to build this project. Is that true? And if not, how did you actually meet?
Okay,
Yeah.
Maxime, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, a little bit. My accent is a bit, but I will try. We met in on the internet before the Oktoberfest, I don't know, but I wanted to join something, be part of something, and helping people. Then I was on the Dev Dapp blog platform, and Shubham and Vince from Dev Protocol just freshly created a community called Web3 community at the time, and we met here, and then we do our first hackathon, and that was our first adventure. Yeah.
Yeah, because you mentioned, Maxime, that you're kind of new to open source as well. So was Hacktoberfest kind of like your first adventure in open source?
Yeah, I don't contribute too much, but I was helping Web3 community to engage people from our own community.
Excellent. Yeah, and you mentioned that Vince from the Dev Protocol helped connect you as well. And I know, obviously, you have an NFT project. You're using blockchain technology, and you're also using Dev Protocol, which is a protocol that helps anybody easily tokenize whatever their craft is, whether they're a developer, whether they're a creator. So first of all, how did you find Dev Protocol, and how are you using it in DevNFT?
Yeah, awesome. That's a really nice question. It would take some more elaboration. Okay, firstly, me and Vincent know each other from other open source community, and at that time, Vincent started his own community called Web3 community, and I was the first person to join that community. So he called me like, since I founded the community, you are the second person. You are now the co-founder of the community. So that's how it started. So we started to, as we put on the Twitter, we are focusing on Web3 open source. So at that time, all the communities were doing what they were NFT stuff, just join, we'll give you NFT drop. There were very less communities who were focusing on learning and sharing resources for free. So we were a lot of people joined us, and Maxim also joined us that time. So that's all started. And at that time, Vincent was having a position of developer relation at Dev Protocol, so he introduced me about Dev Protocol and what they are doing. So it was also, their vision was inclined with our visions, like what we wanted to achieve, but their vision is is a big spectrum, like they want to cover any artisans or crafts or whatever. So yeah, and how we are integrating the Dev Protocol, actually, when developers will mint their NFTs and will keep on creating their collections, so they will have a profile on DevNFT. So in future, if someone wants to tip a developer, they can do that by using the Dev token, which is a token of Dev Protocol. And we are also trying to bring the S token, listing the S token, which is a social token NFT for every supporters that support a particular project on Dev Protocol. So if anyone supports the token on Dev Protocol, supports the project on Dev Protocol, their NFTs can be listed on our platform, so giving more exposure to getting their supports sell, or get their NFT traded off. So we are also providing the S token NFT listing, as well as the dev tipping.
I see. So people can use Dev tokens to purchase NFTs, Dev NFTs. Is that correct?
No, they can tip. You have something like GitHub sponsors, where you sponsors the developers, open source developers. So similarly, there will be user profile on DevNFT as well, where you can tip, in Dev tokens, you can tip the your favorite developer. So yeah.
I see. So the actual purchase of Dev NFTs, what currency is used for that, or is it a separate one that you've developed?
Okay, currently it is the Matic, which we are on Polygon. So it's the Matic. Maybe if we go on other chains, so we might do some other tokens, or maybe we can go with the Rabdith, which is the Ether version of on the different chains.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely cheaper to go with Matic right now in terms of gas fees. So there's a couple of projects out there also trying to solve this problem of incentivizing developers in the open source community. I know just recently we've had the big incident with Faker.js and the statement there about, raising attention that, open source, everyone relies on it, but people that are contributing and maintaining just aren't getting the funding to sustain themselves. So I've seen projects out there like Gitcoin, which is granting, grants and doing issue-based bounties for developers. I've seen Git NFT, which is kind of similar to DevNFT, but for tokenizing or selling your Git commits as NFTs. What motivated you to make DevNFT and, make repos the object of being an NFT?
That's a really good question. So at that time, I didn't know about the Git commit. While when I had the idea of DevNFT, we kind of we found it when we were like almost done. So at that time, I came to know that there is some people who are like selling the Git commits. So fortunately, we were doing the repositories. So. And now I realize like this Git commit is a feature. Like there is no need to build entire new project or product on the basis of that. So we have almost achieved it, but we are also like bringing this Git commit feature, like a developer or like any contributor who contributed a big feature to a project and they want somehow to create an NFT out of it, they can do it as well. So we are also bringing that feature. Thanks to the Git commit for giving us that great idea. So yeah, and Gitcoin and like bounties program, they are also great, but it's a great idea, but NFT is something which I feel is about the legacy. In the future there are like softwares coming up into the market. Someday they won't be into there, like they may get deprecated. So but NFT is something that keeps the legacy alive. So that is something we feel about the NFT, and yeah, it's the people's acceptance and how they want to react to it. So yeah.
Definitely. Just taking the conversation back to Dev Protocol for a moment, was this your first time working with the Dev Protocol like, in a project? And what was your experience using it in DevNFT?
Okay, this should be for both of us. Okay, so I will talk about myself. This was my first experience working with the protocol, and like my second project for Web3. Before that, I built a DeFi project called Loyfin, which was the loyalty finance. We can talk about it someday later, but it was a DeFi, and yeah, this was my second project. So let's see like what Maxim, you want to talk?
Yeah, it's my first time working with Dev Protocol too, and I feel like being helped by family. I can answer all the questions I want because, as I said, it's my first Web3 project. I built many Web2 projects before, but the learning curve was a bit good for me. Learning wallet integration, transaction, etc. Dev Protocol was really easy to reach, and they helped me a bit about some struggle I have on DevNFT.
That's amazing to hear that this was your first Web3 project and you were finding it easy to use Dev Protocol right out.
Like Shubham said, Dev Protocol is the concept of Dev Protocol is how I see how the thing works actually and how I imagine it, and I feel completely in the thinking way of Dev Protocol. So it's a kind of luck, maybe, but amazing.
Good find, yeah.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you're adding some features. I heard you talk about the Git commit coming down the road. Are there any other features you're planning to add right now, or where are you at?
Yeah, like later on, like with the when we started like thinking about more evolution of DevNFT, we we thought of like creating an ecosystem around it, not creating too much of verticals, but some features which let developers to retain on the platform. And and in the Web3 space, like you see, there are like, for using like a tool, you have to have the B tool. Like you want to log into somewhere, you want to have a type of wallet, you want to go use something B, and you want to have like C type of wallet, or things are like not at the same place or like in the same ecosystem. So we want to bring some good user experience, smooth the or create less friction for the developers. So there is one such feature I want to, the whole concept of NFT is also about like, if it's the creator's NFT, then there has to be some benefits that has to be given to the holders. So what we are thinking, if someone holds the NFT of a particular developer, so in return, developers can give a one-to-one code reviews to their holders, or have some weekly chats or some access to their events. So for that, we are planning to bring the gated video conferencing feature, like where only holders of that particular NFT will be able to join Zoom call, or you can say like if there is any like Web3 native application. So we are planning to partner with them as well. So just with a one click on the DevNFT profile itself, so they can have a one-to-one call with the developer, and they can get their code reviewed, or they can talk about what they are planning to do next, or they can like share the vision and whatnot. So so these kind of, and already talked about like get commit and the tipping feature. So this is currently we are planning to bring.
Yeah, that's a big one. So you're planning for Dev NFT to be more than just like a vanity collectible, but also serve as like an access token to, get to know these creators better. That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I noticed on your website that I saw like the Mumbai testnet is still up there. Are you guys strictly on testnet still, and are you planning to go mainnet soon, or what are the ideas there?
No, we are going to mainnet for the beta. Yeah.
When is that?
At the end of the beta. Not
end
now,
of the winter.
Yeah.
It's warming up here, so I expect it to be here soon then. Are people already trying this out on the testnet?
Yeah, actually, during the hackathon itself, and people from the community, they are like testing, playing around. Each day I see so many NFTs are listed, and someone comes and purchase with the test token. So people are playing around it, enjoying it. So, and also we are revamping the whole UI stuff. We are working on the development branch. So things are revamping, and it's more, as I said, like good UX, UI, UX, and yeah, we can expect it by the end of next month on mainnet on different chains. So yeah, probably fingers crossed.
Yeah, I heard a rumor that the new marketplace UI is going to be pretty cool, so we'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So since you're in the process of like revamping the website, adding new features, are you looking for help from other developers in the open source community, or how can people help you?
Yeah, we have some struggle to the design part of DevNFT. The community help us to design the Figma, to imagine concept, but it's not homogeneous. It's not fully as we want to be. So yes, we have struggled to design part. And for the development, not really actually, but marketing and design a little bit, yes.
So if somebody's listening to this and they're like, hey, I'm a marketer, I could help out, like, how can they find you to help you?
They can simply go to they can find us on Twitter. We are like WebXDAO. Currently our DevNFT handle is not that popular. Like we didn't do much focus on marketing, maybe because we have less people who are initially contributing to the project, but they were community, but it was like code contribution more. So we have like WebXDAO, and there is like they can find the Discord link there, and we can like post that into the description of this podcast as well, the interview, so they can reach out to there and ask us there, and like say in the journal channel like, hey, we found you from this and that, and we would like to contribute. We are happy to accept you in the team. So we are like more kind of an open source community still. So like everybody is welcome, and we want to be more inclusive, and yeah.
Great. So WebXDAO on Twitter is how they can find you.
Yes.
You mentioned that you're open source for now. I'm kind of curious, like I know this started as a hackathon project and it was kind of an earlier Web3 project for both of you. Are you planning to turn this into a business? Do you have just the sight of keeping it totally open source, or what is the longer term plan?
Okay, actually, we won't be making it complete open source. The reason is, at some point of time, we also believe, we have to go for some fundraise or some grants. And for the time being, we initially we did it open source, but we found like there are so many copies, or like, instead of like contributing, there are so many forks being created. So to protect for the time being, we did it private. But yeah, in the future when it's launched and it's up, and at time we get confidence, like, now we can make it public, code up public. So definitely we'll do it. And yeah, like some stuff like the contract code, that will be public for sure, like because people should know like what the thing is they are actually putting their money into. So that's why contract will be public, and most of the part of the front end will be public. And to modulate the things, we are creating small parts, so there will be some API services. So that will be that won't be public, but we will be opening that to some other projects as well, so that if they want to use our services, they can use it. But that code won't be public, but some part of like major part of the DevNFT will be public in the future.
I hope so that people can buy your repo as an NFT if it's open source.
Yeah. Selling DevNFT on DevNFT.
Very meta. Speaking of which, if a bunch of developers were to like jump onto the DevNFT train, what repo would you want to buy as an NFT out there? This is a question for both of you.
Yeah, so that's a good question.
It could be your own repo.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Nah, that's a good question. There's so many repositories I could buy.
What repos have you bought on the testnet so far to test things out?
It was I guess mine. It was mostly mine and Vincent's.
Oh, you guys are making each other rich.
Yeah, but on testnet. Yeah. In my case, I have so many, like I use so many times like Web3 modal, which is a library, helps you reduce your work on the actual Web3.js. So Web3 modal I would like to have, and Web3 React, which is by Nohan, which is who is a lead engineer at Uniswap. So he's kind of the maintainer of that project. So I would like to have those repo. And yeah, I'm a big fan of Linus, as I said. So someday if Linus creates NFT out of the kernel repositories, so I would like to have that as well.
I hope he's listening so that he might be incentivized to make a Dev NFT.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'd probably get Cowsay. Have you heard of that NPM library that just makes text appear out of a speech bubble from a cow in your terminal?
No, not actually. But yeah, the mockup libraries like Faker.js, Maker.js, they're also like really great and helps a lot of front-end folks who are building.
How much does it cost to purchase an NFT? Is that something that the developer decides, the price of the repo, or? Yeah,
it's the developer who decides the price of repo. And there will be like royalty feature as well. Like initially that person can decide how much royalty they want to keep for their repository. So like each time it gets sold, so they get particular % of royalty to them.
Yeah, that's something special about Web3, right? Is that it's somewhat easy to implement royalty features into resales. So I'm glad you're taking advantage of that.
Which way?
Yeah, so I think you've given a great overview of like what DevNFT is. Is there anything else like you're hoping to get from people? Like, do you want more people to test it out with you? Obviously, you're inviting people to join your Discord community after finding you at WebXDAO on Twitter. Is there anything else that you want to tell people?
Yeah, actually, we are based like most of our team is from Vincent is from Philippines, Maxim is from France. I'm based in India. We struggle a lot of time doing collaboration, but yeah, that makes sometimes our work really good, and sometimes it also halts the process. But that is like a big good thing I can say about the Web3, like more inclusive, more diverse people are getting into it, no more barriers. But yeah, we are like struggling with the getting more contributors. Like we are building it, but the process is a bit slow. So yeah, we are yeah, that's an issue here. And also like we want our project to be tested. Say there is community people like who are testing and giving us feedback, but it would be great like more and more people test it out. So yeah, that as well.
Awesome. Maxime, is there anything you wanted to add there? Or did Shubham cover
not
it?
really. Yeah, no,
Okay.
Shubham covered it.
Awesome. Well, we're coming up on the half hour, so I think I'm gonna wrap this up. But if any of you are interested in learning more about DevNFT, you can find the project on devnft.xyz. Also, if you're interested in the technology that's helping DevNFT tokenize their projects, check out devprotocol.xyz to learn more about the Dev protocol. Check out WebXDAO on Twitter if you're going to find these two creators and join their community. They're looking for help, so shout out there. I know I'll join your Twitter in a moment. But yeah, thank you both. I know we had a hard time coordinating all of our time zones, but I'm glad we all showed up. And good luck in the revamp and the new features. It's a cool
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us. It was like really nice talking to you and talking about DevNFT. And yeah,
Likewise.
Yeah.
All right, have a good one.